This is the easiest way to learn object markers in Korean. In Korean, there are many markers like 은, 는, 이가, 을, 에, so many markers. And today in this video, we want to focus on one of them. And that's object markers, 을 and 를. You're going to attach this next to objects. Like objects can include pencil, your microphone, iPad, I see it right here. So all of that, they are objects and you can attach 을, object markers next to them. But the question is, when do we use it? And I'm going to have you go like this. That's your O, object. And then another hand, make a V like this. That's your verb. Okay? Whenever this verb is doing something to the object, you're going to attach the marker. Okay? So for example, let's say your object is pencil. And this is your verb. What can you do with the pencil? You can break it. I don't know why I'm thinking of that. You can break the pencil. So here, breaking the pencil. So we are doing something to the object, right? Let's say my object is kimchi. And then this verb, what are you doing with kimchi? You're going to eat it, right? So you can do something to kimchi, which is eating the kimchi. 김치를 먹어요. Do you just see how simple that is? But if you're not doing anything to the object, let's say you can just say there is kimchi. 김치가 있어요. I didn't use object markers. I used something else, subject markers, but we don't want to talk about it right now. One at a time, right? We want to focus on object markers for this video. So just like that, if you're not doing anything to the object, don't use it. Okay, but if you're doing something to the object, you can use it. So let's go over more examples. Number one, I wrote it down here. We have 책, many books here. So let's say you have a 책, that's your object. What can you do with your book? We can read it with our eyes. So we are kind of doing something to the object by reading it. So I can say 책, and present tense of to read is 읽어요. And I'll put the object marker 책을, 책을 읽어요. Say it with me. 책을 읽어요. So we have both 을 and 를. And when your the object ends in a consonant, so in that case, 책 had a 받침, then you pick 을. Remember that. That's a really important part. 책을. But if your object does not have any 받침, it just ends in a vowel, then you're going to pick 를. Okay? So remember that. Consonant ending, 을. Vowel ending, 를. So if you remember that, you can use your object markers anytime you like. All right, so next example we have is 한국어. What is that? All of you here in our channel, you're all studying this thing. 한국어, Korean language. So that is our object, 한국어. And what are we doing with 한국어? We are studying it. To study is 공부하다, and I'm going to turn that into present tense. 공부해요. So then, 한국어 ends in a consonant or vowel. You tell me. Look at the last syllable. 한국어. That is a vowel. And I told you, when it ends in a vowel, do we choose 을 or 를? We choose 를. 한국어를 공부해요. 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. I just changed the tense to present progressive. 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. 한국어를 공부해요. So we can really change the ending, but I'm really talking about here how we can put object markers when we're doing something to this object, right? Just like that, we can mark our objects like that. But what about our state verbs? That's your next question, like to love, to like something, because you'll see object markers with those verbs too. And this is how I want to explain it. So let's say you like Jimin from BTS, okay? So 지민 좋아해요. That works too without the object markers. But sometimes you'll hear people have the object markers next to the object they like. So to like something, we are kind of doing something by liking that thing. You know, our heart is doing something for the object. Right here, I'm not really necessarily saying the object being object, but the grammatically, this object is, you know, the place for where we put nouns, person, place, or thing. Okay? So, 지민을 좋아해요. You can definitely say that by putting the object markers next to it because our state verbs can also go well with object markers. 지민을 좋아해요. 정국을 좋아해요. Because 지민 and 정국 both have 받침 in their names. So 정국 and then 지민, that's consonant ending. So I pick 을 for their names. Do you see where I'm going here? And I want to end this video with just one last thing. You'll also notice many times in our casual conversation and in our day-to-day speech that many native speakers just drop the particles so many times. And that is okay. So you'll hear us saying the markers, and sometimes we're going to drop the markers, and both of them are fine. But these object markers get skipped, I think, the most often. Like, compared to all the particles, we have subject markers, topic markers, and location markers, all of that. I think object markers are number one thing that gets skipped. Isn't that interesting? So if you want to skip them, you can skip them in day-to-day talk. But when you see them in K-drama or when you're learning Korean, so many of you are learning Korean here, right? In college or as an adult, you can just know, oh, I can skip it. But when it appears, you're like, oh, that's why we're using it, because we have an object and we're doing something to the object, so we want to mark this thing. Yes, that's simple. And that is it for our markers. And what other markers would you like to learn? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you found this quick video helpful for our object markers in Korean. And if you have any questions, if you want to drop anything in the comments, let me know. I read all your comments every day. So just know that the comment sections are open and we can discuss about it and all of that. And if you need resources to learn Korean, like to read Korean, to speak Korean, to expand your vocab, or travel to Korea, we have everything on my website, www.ainakimi.com. I'm going to put the link in the description. It's the easiest website. So you can check out my website for all the resources that you need as well. Okay? And that is it for me, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you. 안녕.